Spring college season is here and the warm weather is on its way. That means it's reversible season. Breakmark is giving away free reversibles for teams that order a bundle. With prices starting at just $75, it's the best way to have your team looking game ready this spring. And reorders get a 20% discount. Get started today at breakmark.com.
Hello, and welcome back to Laying It Out. I'm Chelsea Pockets.
And I'm Scotti Dempsey.
Scotti. All right, this is going to be the most random episode that we have ever recorded. Although last week is probably also a random episode.
Or last week, it was 3 weeks ago. Last time.
I got a request from one of my friends that listens to the pod to just have a little bit more banter, be a little bit more random. And to be honest, we are like on the edge of the club season. We are so close, but we're not quite there. There's not quite the action to talk about yet. So we don't have to do any in-depth analysis. We don't have to have any heart-to-heart about the emotional turmoil of playing Ultimate. But I have some Ultimate updates in my life. Scotti has some Ultimate updates in her life. And then also we could just be crazy people. Because as Scotti and I were texting the other day, I think the funniest part of 3 weeks ago episode was us talking about Mike Ball and his obsession with the Lakers.
It got me again.
Love you, Mike. Don't know why you like basketball so much. But yeah, so
everything I've learned about the LA Lakers has been against my will, and it has also been at the hand of Michael Ball.
Yes. I know a little bit about the Lakers, but yeah, 95% of it. But yeah, so we're just going to have a random episode and we're going to see how it goes. There are some future plans in place. We'll love to talk about the WUL because shout out to our good friend, Lehigh friend, Kiwi Malibu, also real name Anna Savinsky, for making it onto San Diego Super Bloom. Very excited. Woo! Spoiler alert, if she is listening to this, I was one of the people that bought your jersey. Very excited for that to, I think end of March is when they said that those fan jerseys would go out. So excited for that.
The WUL jerseys are so cool, dude. I'm so sad I missed out. And I was like, oh, I guess I could just enter a raffle for a random one. And I was like, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same as supporting our baby.
Yeah.
Actually, funny enough, I was talking to Dash, and Candy actually was in town at League on Saturday. And I was like, oh, Pockets bought one of Kiwi's jerseys. And they were like, oh, Kiwi was wondering like why hers sold out so quickly. And I was like, well, there's another person that bought your jersey. I guess you got a lot of random anonymous fans too, but.
Yeah. Well, I bet her parents bought some. I know Nuke bought one. Not to say all these names that our listeners have no idea what they mean. But I guess that's the thing with those super fan jerseys that they buy. So I noticed this with the PUL because I think they've been doing it for a really long time. I say really long time. It's been like 3-4 years.
As long as the PUL has been running.
Well, I believe Torch did it first by themselves for the first year, and then the rest of the league picked it up. But don't quote me on that. I'm not a reporter. But people on Twitter were all like, oh, why didn't so-and-so's jersey sell out already? They're so cool. They're so good at Ultimate. It's because they're so good at Ultimate that they've been in like these professional leagues for so many years that their jersey, like the people that bought their jerseys already have their jerseys. And it's like the brand new people to professional Ultimate. Those are some of the people that sold out immediately. I do want to shout out, just for my jug handle love, my New Jersey Ultimate love. So for Philadelphia Surge, well, first off, Surge was the first team in the PUL to sell out completely. But also, Jug handle player Yana Graham. I like had a meeting that went over lunch a little bit. I think the jerseys dropped at noon EST on whatever day it was. I went like 5-10 minutes later than the drop date. She was already sold out.
Whoa.
And there were like 3 other Surge players also already sold out. And it was ridiculous. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah. That's crazy. I mean,
I
like made not a semi-triumphant return to Twitter. Just kidding. I mean, I opened the Twitter browser tab on my phone to be like, oh, let's look at some PUL stuff. And it was just like all Philly Surges sold out. And I was like, whoa, cool, crazy, fun stuff. I just don't like the way the PUL jerseys look as much, but that's
I think I gotta look at them again.
And VC Ultimate. I told someone at Winter League recently that I'm the swag dictator of any team that I'm on, and they laughed like so hard, and I was like, wow, that's my one funny joke for the day. Can't make any more. But as we know about anything on this podcast, my most recent article about No Sleep Till Brooklyn, all I care about is ultimate swag. So yeah, please keep sending ideas my way.
I was going to say, for the PUL jerseys, I think I liked the DC Shadow ones the best. But just like the black and white, it looked very like professional. And I appreciated that. But I think WUL won the fan jersey design if we're going league versus league.
For sure. For sure.
I think the answer is, like, obviously yes, but like thoughts on a WUL versus PUL, like end of season, like winner v winner showcase game. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Would they have to host it in the exact middle of the country so that it's fair?
They have to do it at like nationals in Ohio. College nationals.
And then also the women's professional ultimate showcase.
Yes.
No, because some players,
sure.
so many players would be competing in both. And that's not fair.
I guess, yeah. No.
Yes.
If it's just the winner of the WL and the PUL, I don't think it would be a little bit more spread out.
Oh, it would be more spread out because it's just 2 teams. But still, some people would be competing in both. Yeah, that's enough. We will have more professional ultimate talk later on. I did watch the WUL kind of weekend opener, mostly watching Super Bloom. Their jerseys look so good. Every logo in that league is so pretty.
Yeah.
It's just appealing to look at.
The Astros Galaxy jerseys are like, they're so tight, dude. They're so sick.
I have to look those ones up too. Yeah. All right. So moving on from professional ultimate, we both have personal ultimate updates in our life. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I will start, I guess, because it's been like 3 weeks since our most recent episode dropped. So there's been a decent amount of ultimate in my life. And I also, I was sick the last time, or I was just getting over a cold the last time we recorded. And now I am no longer sick. I do have a horrible little cat boy in my lap. He's a stinky man. I love him. And yeah, so what have I done Frisbee-wise? There was our Disc NY hosted a Lunar New Year hat tournament,
Ooh.
I guess 3 weekends ago now. Which was also, pretty late following the Lunar New Year. But all the teams were like Chinese zodiac animals, so that was pretty fun. And someone on my team recognized me from the pod, so shout out Jack. He was like, "Oh, are you Scotti from the Laying It Out podcast?" And I was like, not awake yet. I don't think I even did anything Saturday night because it was a Sunday. And I was like, what? Oh yeah, okay. Now I'm like, okay, now I have to pretend to be cool, and I'm not cool. But we got to hang out. I actually made a bunch of new friends, connections in the New York Ultimate scene. It's kind of fun. A lot of 2021 college grads are coming out of the woodwork now. 2022 also. I guess, yeah, 2022. So they moved to the city, you know, in the summer, and they finally got their bearings. So it was like really fun to see the new like young people influx to Disc NY, and also be like, wow, I'm 25 and you think that's old. I don't like this.
No, I feel bad because we've talked about this before. Like, oh God, we've been doing the podcast for 2 years now. Like 2 years ago, we would be like, yeah, 30 is so old, 35 is so old. And now look at us. 25 is not old. I'm clarifying that. And neither is 30 or 35, but.
Yeah, but these kids are like, oh, wow, like, how long have you been in the city? And I'm like, oh, you know, almost 2 years. And they're like, wow, you're like a real adult. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Are you kidding? At my real job, I'm still like, I don't know how to send email.
Today,
just kidding. If you're my employer, I don't mean that. It's just like I still feel like I'm truly fumbling my way to moderate success.
I think that's the real lesson here is everyone I talk to, nobody really knows what's going on. We're all just vaguely staying alive and doing our little duties, doing our little tasks.
Yeah, my silly little snail tasks. So that tournament was super fun. I like got convinced to sign up by my friend, and because they just like needed DAOs, and I was like, okay, and I had such a blast. And I actually played pretty well too, because I was like, wow, my gains in the gym are actually paying off, and it's like you can see it, and like I can feel it, and it just feels so damn good to like feel like I'm good at Frisbee and like finally be confident in like both like my skills and, you know, my position within the community and yeah, all that good stuff. I actually like feel settled now, which is a new feeling and something that I'm still trying to like embrace. So there's that. And then I had Winter League finals this past weekend. We lost our first game, and then nobody wanted to play the consolation game, myself included, because I actually didn't have any subs. So I got my money's worth out of it. And then we got to like watch a little league, a little like some of the extra games, go to the bar, and then, you know, find out who won when they got to the bar. So yeah, you know, good Winter League stuff. Signed up for Spring League. We'll see how many I make because it is a Friday night at 7. Oh. So that's kind of a not ideal time, but there's 2 Exist players are my captains. So it's like I do really want to play. Like I really want them to like impart some of their wisdom and good skills at Frisbee via osmosis into my brain and make me good at Frisbee because I could always be better. And I think that's like really it. Oh, I forgot. I also went, I don't even know. There's so many weekends. I went to No Sleep Till Brooklyn. I had a comedy of errors that just like lost my phone, so I couldn't make it Saturday. And then Sunday I went and I got to watch Williams and Wellesley play, so that was exciting. I'll shout them out again. Tough Spee absolutely had the best jerseys at the tournament. If you haven't checked out my article, I do have a picture of them because I was like, hey, can I put your jerseys in an Ulti-Rolled article? And they like posed and it was really cute. All around, yeah, really fun tournament. Like super fun to be around College Ultimate again. And yeah, looking forward to a good season. Got a lot of Ulti-World writing occurring at the moment. But it's fun to work with Michael Ball, and my new reporters for just D3 Women's are really great too.
Sweet. I do want to shout out again. On the last episode, I think we said, hey, email Scotti if you have information on any D3 tournaments, D3 teams in general. And she got a lot of emails. Well,
I got a lot of emails, and I hope I responded to everyone, but like, thank you for doing that. And then keep it coming, too, because I was able to write a whole write-up about Bring the Huckus, given just, like, tournament results, input from a couple different coaches, and then one parent sent me stats for Ithaca. So that was huge. And I could, like, sound like I was actually there. And it kind of felt like I was actually there, minus the terrible wind that was occurring. So please, you know, can't do it without the whole village.
Yeah, it's not a Vineland Ultimate tournament without actually horrible wind. I remember one tournament, I don't know if you were there. I feel like you were. It was in the spring. No.
I feel like I know exactly
It
what
was in the
tournament you're
fall.
talking about. Was it your senior year? And at every point
It
was
was
one on
my
the flip?
It was in my senior year. It was fall. All the other, I don't know why I was trying to determine that because that doesn't really truly matter. But literally every single game, at least on our fields, because the way the fields were set up, it was just harsh up down wind. Every single game was determined by the flip. And it was the fall, so we were trying to do relatively even lines, but we tried just putting one power line out there to see if we could do it. We got like maybe 5 feet closer to the end zone, and then we dropped it, and then it was just like, oh shit. Because then the other team just hucks it down to the end zone, and it doesn't even matter. But that was the worst tournament of my life.
I remember that vividly because I remember also Lubes like wrote into Ultiworld and was like, do your research on the scores. Like, don't rank Lehigh lower because of this result. And I was like, I am taking this to heart. The second I was like, I want to do some writing too. And I'm like messaging people like, how bad was the wind? Be honest.
Yeah.
It sounds like there was an equally as bad tournament this spring that at Vineland, like the same weekend as No Sleep.
I think it just like so many Vineland tournaments. And as a former captain of a D3 Ultimate team, I know it's tough. It's tough to find tournaments because nobody wants to go that far. And Vineland's just right there. But we gotta stop. We gotta stop going to Vineland tournaments. Please. It's so windy.
So windy. And the fields aren't even that good.
No, they're fine fields. It's very large. It's good. They can host like men's and women's.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Well, Pockets, what's your ultimate updates?
I have a new position. I'm checking off all the ultimate. No, not in real life. In ultimate life. I'm checking off all the boxes for like roles I could possibly have. But to cut to the chase, I have been elected vice president of McCuddle. For anyone that doesn't know, that's Mercer County Ultimate Disc League. I'm sure there's other smaller leagues in New Jersey, but the main New Jersey Frisbee League. But yeah, I am vice president of a disc organization now. Very excited. I ran unopposed. So there were 3 positions that we were voting for and 4 people ran. So I'm in there. I made it. It wasn't that difficult, but I'm excited. We've only had 1 meeting so far. We're going to have another meeting in like 2 days. We're basically just getting things up and running, making sure we have all the correct documentation. I like what McCuddle is switching to do. So we used to have a larger board, and the board would handle all the responsibilities. Now we're going to have just a smaller 3-person board, and we're actually going to pay people to do things like organize Summer League, organize Winter League, run the website. We are a USAU affiliate, so handle that communication and all that stuff. So hopefully that helps to solve some of the issues that we hear a lot in Ultimate, is that volunteers get burnt out. Because that's exactly what happened to part of the old board, is they were doing all the work and then it ate them alive. So, but I'm excited for it. I got captaining down, I got coaching down, now I'm a board member of an Ultimate organization.
You just got to be a TD. I don't really know what else is left after TD.
Well, writer, technically. I don't think I've written anything. I haven't written anything. I've contributed my knowledge to a piece.
I made you watch film and tell me about it.
Strong use of the word knowledge there. Yeah, so I think I have to write. I have to TD. What else is there?
I guess professional
player
or film.
Film.
Film, maybe.
I was gonna say professional. Well, film ideally I do, and photography I do when I start to get older. I would love to just be that, like, I don't know, 40 plus. I don't think I'm gonna be running around when I'm 40. I have to figure out, whenever I retire from Ultimate, I would love to do film and photography work, just watching games and then posting all that online. because I love it when someone takes my picture, and I like taking pictures.
That's great. I also love when people take my pictures. Ironically, actually, I was talking about this with my boyfriend because I was scrolling through the Ultiworld Instagram and like, goddamn, what the pandemic did to the quality of like Ultimate production, like media. Because we were like, imagine like how much footage we'd have of ourselves if only we were born later. If only we went to school later. Then, like, you know, Mike does such a fantastic job, like, producing FCS, and, like, all these college tournaments are so well produced, and, like, we've gotten so much better coverage, and, like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I was ever good enough in college to, like, really make any highlight reels or, you know, any Ultiworld shout-outs, but, like, coverage has gotten better, and, like, you know, it feels really good to be a part of that. So
yeah, that's part of the issue of joining this sport is we're getting in early, even though it's been around for 50 plus years. Compared to like baseball, football, we're getting in early. So if we want it to be like a real sport, we got to put in that work. And yeah, we won't reap all the benefits of it, but hopefully the kiddos down the line that are like in elementary school now, hopefully they get some cool shit coming their way.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we will not be the best that Ultimate has to offer, but some person 15, 20 years from now, maybe they will.
Yeah,
be.
some LeBron James.
Because there'll be some like there'll be hopefully like elementary and middle school programs set up for all that. Although sometimes I see little kids holding a Frisbee and their body is like the size of the Frisbee, and it's the cutest thing.
There is a kid, he's the son of someone that plays in mud with me, and his son comes to all the games, and he has a better flick than like half of the people that also play mud. And the disc is bigger than his head, but he can launch it.
I'm so excited to see what that child does in the future.
Yeah, he's kind of doomed to play Ultimate, to be honest. I think his dad is a former coach, so unfortunately, he doesn't seem to really get a choice in the matter for what sport he has to do.
Poor kid. What if he doesn't even want to do sports?
I know, right? It's like
born to play video games, forced to play Ultimate.
That's me. It's me IRL. I was gonna say like Troy Bolton. He wants to dance and sing, but he has to play sports. It's High School Musical.
Well, he gets to do both.
He does.
He goes to Juilliard, which is fucking insane.
Does he really?
Not to go off. I'm like 95% certain that he does. So not to go off onto High School Musical discourse, but everyone's like, oh, Sharpay, and I don't even remember her brother's name. Ryan, yes. Like they got snubbed because
they were robbed.
They were robbed. They did all this work, and then Troy, pretty boy Bolton comes in. He's like, I can sing and dribble a basketball. And then he gets the lead part, and fucking Vanessa Hudgens' character, that I'm almost forgetting the name.
Gabriella.
Yeah, she might have had some experience, I guess, because she transferred schools. But Troy Bolton definitely goes to Juilliard. Troy Bolton College. Oh
no. Where did Troy Bolton go to school? We need the High School Musical canon.
He doesn't go to Juilliard. I'm wrong. Maybe he got an offer there.
I think he goes to like nondescript college because I know like I don't think they specify.
Main cast: Troy Bolton. Troy Bolton is the protagonist of the first 3 films. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. In the franchise's 3rd film, Troy once again feels uncertain about his future as high school graduation draws near. While Troy is set to attend the University of Albuquerque, he begins to have second thoughts about other schools he and his father talked about. Coach Bolton and Chad are both insistent on Troy attending the university, but he decides to attend University of California, Berkeley, in order to pursue both basketball and theater and to be closer to Gabriella, who enrolls in Stanford.
Okay.
All right, I don't know why I thought Juilliard. Maybe
I mean, because I'm sure, because like everything in that movie is like so blown out of proportion.
Oh, no. Okay, Sharpay. By the third film, Sharpay's popularity seems to be limited among admiring boys and is no longer having an antagonistic, I know how to read, antagonistic role. In her senior year, Sharpay meets Tiara Gold, a British transfer student eager to learn the ropes at East High by becoming Sharpay's personal assistant. If only I had a personal assistant senior year of high school. Tiara's dedication is impressive, but it turns out to be a facade. On opening night of the spring musical, Tiara attempts to upstage Sharpay, but fails. Sharpay does not receive a scholarship to Juilliard and decides to pursue a performing arts degree at the University of Albuquerque. She has agreed to return to East High to assist Mrs. Darbus with the drama department and to continue her reign over Tiara. So this freshman comes in and it ruins her senior show, so she comes back to high school while in college to ruin that girl's life.
Oh, that's the definition of peaked in high school.
That's like if I didn't almost do this, but I was way too physically close to Lehigh after graduation. It's like if, let's put Kiwi, for example, because she's really fucking good at Ultimate. It's like if I had beef with Kiwi while in college, then decided to come back and coach and ruin her life.
And just like systematically take her down through abusive like power.
What is going on in the High School Musical universe? Well, you sidetracked me. I was going to talk about Children and Ultimate for a second.
You got more? You got more Ultimate updates?
I got more Ultimate updates. If anyone is familiar with the New Jersey Ultimate scene, Jug Handle had a player, I believe he played for 11 or 12 seasons, Mason. We had his retirement party a few weekends ago, which was sad and happy, but he's moving on from Jug Handle. He's like, I cannot do intense club Ultimate anymore with his family life. But there were so many, not so many, but there were about 3 little kids there, and they all had little Jug Handle jerseys. Because I guess as people have babies, they get gifted a little Jug Handle onesie and stuff, and they can buy their little jerseys, and it's just so cute.
That's really cute.
It's also just so fun that Jug Handle has been around that long that you get to watch a child grow up with a Jug Handle jersey.
True. It's like someday you will fit into this one. Then you can wear it.
Yeah, one day you'll be on the team.
Those
kids are really forced into a Frisbee lifestyle.
Seriously.
But yeah, it was fun.
I had a point I was going to make in response to you saying your retirement party, but I can't remember it anymore.
Retirement party. Retirement party. Retirement party.
I got nothing.
You got nothing.
Oh, I remember now. Sorry, you were saying devoting your whole summer to Club Ultimate. And I remember we were saying maybe we could do it a bit about how to explain to your non-Ultimate friends why you can't hang out with them over the summer. Because boy, oh boy, have I gotten in trouble with a bunch of my high school friends recently. Because we try to do an annual, and I say annual. If we make it this year, that'll be the second annual. So we went last summer, and now we're let's do this annually. Which means that we have to do it a second time in order for it to really be annual. But we do this retreat with our friend, with the group. We got an Airbnb, or we're gonna get an Airbnb somewhere else this time. And everyone was over Thanksgiving, everyone was home, and so we were okay, can we decide on a weekend now? And I was yeah, yes, but and I thought I made this clear, but apparently I did not. If I have a tournament, if tournament dates get moved around, we may have to consider changing the date. And I don't know how my friends, I say this, even though I have my whole summer booked out already. I don't know how my friends also have their whole summer booked out already, because then the weekend we planned on, Buddha released the date for Boston Invite. So then I was hey guys, bad news, either I can't come because I have to go to the tournament. We could do it in Boston if you wanted to come to my tournament, because we do Thursday, Friday, but I just won't be able to drink, which is fine. or can we change the weekend? And everyone like lost their shit. They were like, we have to do this weekend. Can you not just skip a tournament? And I was like, I can't skip a tournament. Like, it's not like just a tournament. And I was like, I don't really feel any need to like try to get you guys to understand this. Like, I would hope that you can just like respect my priorities. But everyone was like really mad. Like, it ended up working out. This is like a couple weeks old now. But everyone was mad that like I would prioritize Frisbee over them. And I was like, there's like 30 people on my Frisbee team and half of them are women. And I have to like at least be there to like represent and support the team for like the women matching players, because mixed can be really tough and really full of dudes. So just like, as I lied and said I was on leadership, but that's why I couldn't skip, because I was like, they're not going to check and they're not going to listen to this podcast either. But I'm like leadership adjacent enough that I can't skip to go get drunk in the woods. So we changed the weekend, but dude,
it's tough.
It's tough.
No, it's really, at least because to be honest, I think it's just Devin is the only person I like hang out with that, besides like maybe 2 or 3 significant others also that are now my friends because they're dating my friends. I think I only have one friend that never at any point played Ultimate in their life, and he even kind of gets it for the most part. But it's hard to be like, I would love to get super drunk in a cabin with you this weekend, but I have to go run around on a field for absolutely no reason.
I have to go play a fake sport. If you would like to watch me also do that, you're more than welcome. I love when people come watch me play Frisbee.
Yeah,
but no one wants to do that either. So.
There will be no concierge or snack station or anything, but you can eat this banana that's been sitting in the sun for...
It's hot.
A hot banana.
A hot banana.
Ooh, and a hot pickle. Think about the pickles.
Hot pickle juice, please.
Yeah, no, I had my friends text me, they're like, ooh, you want to do a wine weekend this day? And I had to be like, I have a meeting for my club team on this weekend, and then I'll be able to tell you my schedule. It's just like, it's that might be even worse than, oh, sorry, I can't, I have a tournament. It's, oh, I don't know my club Frisbee schedule yet. We're having a meeting about it in 2 weeks. I can tell you then. And I just felt like an asshole.
Yeah, then all my friends were like, oh, guess we have to wait for Fiona to get her club's Frisbee schedule. And I was like, just wait till I have to try out for and play on a different team. Then we'll never know. But luckily, one of my friends in the group chat also, he played Ultimate at when he was in undergrad. And what's annoying is a lot of people did pretty one of my friends was a competitive ballerina. Obviously my twin sister's in the group chat. She was a really competitive track person. And it's you wouldn't have skipped this when you were in high school. Can you please give adult me the same courtesy?
Well, I was thinking about this as you were talking about it. I think there's a big difference there. Because while your sister, your friends, they all did those sports in high school, partly because they liked it. But I also think there was part of a reason they were kind of forced to do it. I feel like a lot of parents, they're like, my kid should do sports. It's healthy for them. Or they did sports when they were little. My dad did baseball. So Brendan did baseball, for example. So you're kind of forced into it a little bit, but it's also very easy to do still because there's that structure. And with track or whatever, I don't know how far you travel. What was the farthest you would travel for that?
My sister traveled a lot further, but it was pretty much in state.
Yeah. So there's they're bigger sports. They're real sports. So it's like easier to do too. And then unless you're either doing it because you're good at it, you're trying to get that college scholarship, or you're doing it because it's part of your like high school routine or whatever. But then you and I are adults. We are the only people making us choose this decision. And I know part of it's like, oh, my social friend group is all involved here. But no, like we could just like stop. They would still be our friends. We could go watch their tournaments. We're forcing ourselves to do this. And the part of it that sucks, though, also, like, for people that maybe do ballerina, or I don't know if you can do competitive track as an adult. But, like, you could definitely do ballet, but you can do that all year. Like, Frisbee club season is this one specific time every year.
I was like, I get 5 sacred tournaments a year. Like, you have to, like, you just can't. You have to respect it. And it's like, if any of you even bothered to, I mean, I'm also a little salty because no one's, like, even really bothered to, like, come to my tournaments or, like, ask me how the game works. It's like, what do you think I spend all my time doing? What do I have a podcast on? What do I spend my weekends doing? Like,
it's the sport with the dogs. We just throw a Frisbee to a dog, right?
You're so right. You're so right.
That's why we're not very good at it because we only have our cats. Wawa and Ciabatta, they're not at the level as like an Australian Shepherd would be, but they're trying their best.
I was in Central Park with some friends this past weekend, and we were throw a Frisbee, and we got attacked in quotes by 2 different Australian Shepherds who wanted our Frisbee so bad. And like they were off leash, and they just like came like running up to us, and their owners were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And it was like, it's fine. It was really funny though, because they wanted our Frisbee really, really bad. And I was like, I don't want you to put your teeth on this because it's gonna hurt your mouth.
Oh no, it hurts the disc.
And it hurts the disc.
Sponge's dog at home has her special disc that she has ruined because she just got it one day and now it's hers.
Yep. Yeah, I just have a horrible little goblet that I live with.
Yeah, I'm a little, not to get too personal, I'm a little worried about Wawa. She hasn't been jumping on things as well anymore. So we're going to see how that goes.
Aww.
She jumped into my lap today, but didn't quite make it and absolutely destroyed my thigh with her claws because she was like, "Ooh, gotta catch myself." And then now I'm in pain.
Oh, Ciabatta's kind of, I mean, he's slowing down a lot too. He's a senior cat, so.
Mm-hmm.
Enough about cats, though. I'm trying to think about what else is new, and the other major thing that's new with me is I have gotten into Survivor.
Oh.
My roommate loves Survivor, so I was like, I want to find out what this is about. And there's a couple seasons on Netflix, so I watched those seasons, and I was hooked. So I was like, okay. So now it's, like, currently airing, and I'm going to watch it with her later tonight. And I've gotten into it. But one of my favorite, like, discussions with people is, like, how well, like, that like, no Survivor. Like, how well do you think you would do on Survivor? Because it's, like, a social game. And I made a whole PowerPoint presentation about all the different ways in which I would die on Survivor, because I would do terrible. I hate the outside. I live in New York City, for God's sake. The like main thing I miss about the outside and like where I grew up is like hearing the birds sing. Aside from that, I'm like, I am a creature of the iPhone, of the Wi-Fi, of the mattress and the 4 walls and the central air conditioning. If you, like, the thing is, like, I know I would have to sign up for Survivor. Like, I would have to, like, want to go on it. But, like, if I got dropped, if I was stranded on a deserted island, even if it was as, like, controlled as Survivor is, I would literally die. I would literally just roll over and die. Because the first thing that would happen is I would get so badly sunburned that I would, like, simply have to pass away. But then, like, you add on all the social dynamics and, like, my anxiety could not take that. Like, everyone's, like, lying and scheming and, like, in alliances and talking to each other and, like, talking behind their backs. And, like, I would probably die at the first, like, I would have a heart attack and just die at the first tribal. Because I'd be like, oh, God, they're going to vote me out and, like, literally die. And then they wouldn't have to vote anyone out. Because I'd be dead. But
You're
I
not
think
gonna
you should
die.
get to Survivor.
You don't
Then
die
we should do... then we can rank Survivor things.
Do we have a strong Survivor fan base that watches this? We can put out a poll.
We should put out a poll. See, the Survivor fan base is feral. I also have recently tapped into that. And then my roommate took me to a bar for a Survivor watch party last week that was hosted by a current contestant. Attended by.
I was going to say, how can they be a current contestant?
Because it's not live. The show isn't live.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Like, she recorded it. Yeah.
But then we don't know, is she still in the show? Mm-hmm. Or is she, so she knows.
She does know.
Who wins.
She's under contract, though. She can't say, like, any of that stuff.
She's at a bar. Do you know how much I blab when I'm drunk? Just keep buying her drinks. Be like, so...
Literally. But like she was getting kind of like mobbed by super fans. But like the people that were there were like, what's your favorite season of Survivor? And I was like, oh, I'm new to this. Like I really liked David and Goliath. And everyone was like, they did like talking about like what they would put in their like interview, like their audition tapes and like this and that about like the certain plays and the idols and the da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, this is why I didn't get into Survivor for so long, because I feel like the barrier to entry is so high, and yet here I am in over my head. I'm just here to drink $5 wine and watch Survivor. I'm in a fantasy league. I was in a fantasy league. I'm already out because the league that I'm in, like you pick someone that's like won't go home, but then you can't pick them again. So my person that I picked last week went home, and it's week 2. So
you're just out?
I'm out. My roommate's still in, though, so we're going to tag team it, and then hopefully if she wins, we'll split the money.
Nice.
Or she'll just take me out to dinner.
Yeah.
There's only a $10 buy-in, but it's like a $200 payout, so...
Yeah. That's how those work.
So yeah, I think maybe we should see if... Because I feel like Frisbee people, like, there's definitely... It's a fun, outdoorsy, like, competition show. I think Frisbee people like all the above.
Well, yeah, no, I agree with that. I'd have to catch up. I watched Survivor when I was a wee lad because the main thing my family did to hang out with each other was just watch TV. And we would always say that my dad was going to be good at it because you don't know Timmy Breadbush too well, but...
I don't know him well. I'm scared of him.
Yeah, he's a little intimidating. He's not intimidating me because I'm his daughter, but to everyone else in this world, besides immediate family members, he's one of the scariest people you'll ever see. And he's a little toothpick. He's a little nerdy little toothpick. But you said it's a social game. So now he's 62, 61. So he wouldn't be able to do it, but he would be scary to watch. But yeah, I don't know if you know this. Brody Smith was on The Amazing Race before.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how far. I know he didn't win, and I think he got pretty far. But that is just to tie it in. That's my fun fact.
Just to tie it in.
Well, I don't watch Survivor anymore, so I didn't know how to.
I think you should watch again, and I think other people should watch then talk to me about it.
Yeah. Who would your Amazing Race partner be?
I would probably bring my boyfriend at this point. I think he would do really well at Survivor because he's really good at being a background character, and he's very comfortable not being the center of attention. In fact, he like prefers it. But he's also really good at like making people feel like welcomed and included and like feel very comfortable and like open and vulnerable with him, which is like something that I like love about him and was obviously drawn to him when I first met him. But then also if you think about it in the context of Survivor, like he's absolutely smart enough to like turn it around and be like devious. But I think he would be able to like win his way through by being like kind of like invisible enough until he didn't have to be anymore. We were talking about whether he would win or who would do better, him or his mom. And I think his mom would probably do better. Even though she's like in her 70s, because like you can like sit out the challenges. But one, she's way too competitive to do that. And two, she's a freaking rabbi. She's a community leader. She would like rally her whole tribe around her, and we'd be like, you could make a religion out of this. So it's like a very funny concept. But my boyfriend and I have a Sunday ritual of doing the crossword together. So I feel like between like that knowledge, like how good we are at the crossword, because he's got like music knowledge and like religious knowledge and like sports knowledge, and then like I'm pretty well traveled and like pretty good at like navigating and stuff. But like I think that we would like be able to utilize like that combination the same way that we do for crosswords to our benefit in Amazing Race.
That'd be interesting.
How about you? He also said he would never want to go on Amazing Race.
Oh, no, I would never want to go on any single reality TV show. Because I'm not interesting. You describe
and yet here we are with a podcast.
Yeah. Why do you all listen? I don't know what. See, I would be such a negative for Amazing Race. Do you get a phone? You have your phone?
I have no idea. I don't think so.
That's the
only way. I think you get a map. I think you have to like navigate via a map.
I have a memory of being a Girl Scout. I don't know how old I was, maybe 8. And we went to this corn maze, and I was like, I have the map. I'm going to lead us. And I read the map in quotes correctly, but I didn't know where the exit was, and I just brought us to a thing in the middle that I wanted to stand on top of to see the entire thing, because I read the map incorrectly. So I brought us there. I brought us to the spot on the map I wanted to go, but I brought us to the wrong spot. And so just with that experience, I know I would not do well in Survivor or The Amazing Race. But I don't know. Maybe I'd pick my dad. I feel like he could deal with that.
For the same reasons as above, why he would do well on Survivor, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can speak, or he used to be able to speak Russian. That might be a little helpful tidbit, because I feel like maybe I just learned Spanish. That gets us across the world.
There you go.
All right. Is there anything else
anything else?
I have nothing else.
I have nothing.
You said you had a fun story for the PS Zone.
I do, yes. I was chit-chatting with my editor, Theresa. Just like they were helping me with my articles that I've been writing, and then we just kind of got chatting. And I love them. But I told them the story of how I lost my phone and why I missed No Sleep Till Brooklyn. They said, that's a subs only episode if I've ever heard it. And I said, deal.
So stick around to that if you want to listen. If you are not an Ultiworld subscriber, we will say adios for now. But yeah, for now, I have been Chelsea Pockets.
And I'm Scotti Dempsey. And we'll catch you on the flip.
They say I'm acting crazy, but I just wanna lie in the sun.
She froze on me, and now I can't tell if my joke was bad or not.